Because in 2021 we get the vignettes, the burning of the guitar, all this stuff's happening, and obviously we'll get to Ezekiel a little bit, but you get the burning of the guitar, all the kind of references are there of a new being is coming, and it doesn't really go anywhere, and it's like it just felt strange to happen. So what was really happening behind the scenes that we were seeing?
Uh, so this will transition to Zeke. Yeah. So then what had happened was, we're doing the pandemic. It doesn't make sense for me to be doing like crowd participation stuff, right? So now they're kind of like tag teaming me with Jackson Riker, and I'm still carrying the guitar. I'm doing my stuff, but it's like they can't figure out what to do with me. Okay. And so one night after they split me and Jackson Riker, they said, hey, Vince just wants you to do a serious promo to the camera, and he just wants to see how that goes. I said, okay, sure. And so we do a very basic, I'm looking right at the camera. I'm not doing any of my shtick. I say something like, tonight, Jackson Riker, you're going to find out exactly why WWE stands for Walk with Elias. I'm very serious, straightforward, right? And then I come out, and he's like, hey, don't bring the guitar with you tonight. Just go out there normal. And I'm like, okay. He's like, just all business. I'm like, okay, you got it. And so I go out there. I'm all business. I have this match with Jackson Riker. And to me, I feel like I don't do anything different than I'd ever done. But to Vince, when I came to the back, he was like, I got everything I wanted out of that segment right there. If you work like that, I'll put you with Brock. I'll put you with Roman. I could put you with anybody. And I'm like, okay. He's like, but you got to trust me on this. The guitar, I'm not taking you. It's like for some reason I don't put it together. And so it was like a weird perception where like when I'm with the guitar, it's like he can't picture it with Brock or something like that. But when I'm just like a serious fighter, he's like, oh yeah, that guy can fight Brock or whoever the tough guys. So, okay, so we got to get rid of that guitar. I said, all right, you got it, Vince. And maybe we do some vignettes or something like that, right? And so we come up with this idea that I'm gonna burn the guitar, and that version of Elias is dead. There's a new version coming. Long live Elias, and I had this white hat that Shawn Michaels had given me. If you remember from WrestleMania 25, when he wrestled The Undertaker. So now I got a connection with all my faves, right? And that was going to be part of it. And I was going to wear trunks that eventually Ezekiel would wear. And I was going to do that. So I showed up like 2 weeks later after the vignettes aired. And Vince saw me in this new gear and hat. And he was like, wow, this is a great look. This is a great look. Look, let's not just throw you out there. Let's get you new music. Let's do this right. I said, okay, sure. So it was like a couple weeks later. And then the draft was coming up. And I remember I sent him a message. I said, how about we do it at the draft? We'll debut the new Elias at the draft. He's like, yeah, that sounds good. So about a week before the draft, he's like, hey, let's cut the hair. Let's cut the hair and just give like a brand new, it's a brand new Elias, right? I'm like, okay, you got it. And I show up to TV, and he's like, I understand you're quite handsome underneath that beard. Maybe we shave that. I'm like, Vince, I'm just okay, I don't know, whatever. He's like, shave that beard or whatever. And so I shaved like pretty close, but I still had some. And he's like, no, the whole way. I'm like, okay. So they clean shaved me. Now I've got short hair, clean shaven. And he's like, oh, this is a whole different person. Who's this guy? And I'm like, Vince, it's me. It's Elias. What are you talking about? He's like, oh, no. I mean, if Elias is dead, who's this guy? And he's all excited, right? I'm like, what? I don't know. You know what I mean? What do you mean? He's like, oh, let's see here. Do you have any other hobbies? Do you have any hobbies or like special skills? I'm like, yeah, I play like a bunch of different instruments. I play music. I've got all kinds of like artistic skills. He's like, no, like anything else? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, do you like, I don't know. Do you have any like hidden talents and stuff? I don't know, Vince. He's like, what's your name? And I'm like, it's Elias, Vince. What are you talking about? He's like, I mean, you look like, you're like 10 years younger. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay. He's like, let's get some pictures. Go take some pictures, bring it to the team, and we're going to get around. We're going to gather around. We're going to figure this all out. And this. He was like all excited about it, right? And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is happening? And so it's months that go by now at this point. And he comes up with this idea. I come up with an idea, actually, that says, hey, what if I'm my twin brother, right? And like I show up and I'm looking for Elias. I want to know what happened to him. Where'd he go? I haven't seen him for months. And people are going to be wondering, wait a second, aren't you Elias? Like, it's like you start playing with him a little bit. There's a little bit of mystery there. And I would never reveal myself. I would just be like, I'm Elias's brother. I haven't seen my brother for months. Last I saw him, he was burning his guitar and stuff like that. I haven't heard from him, and no, the family hasn't seen him. What's going on? And so hopefully build some whatever, have some fun with him. And, for whatever reason, he really liked that. He came up with this, but then he ran with his own idea. And, he says, no, you're going to be the younger brother. You're going to be the younger brother. I said, okay, all right, sure. And he went with that. He had he had this idea of me peeing on Elias's grave. If you could picture that. He was just like so excited to do these ideas. And so, then here we are. It's months have gone by, and they finally contact me and they say, hey, the night after WrestleMania, we're going to debut you. I'm like, okay, let's do it. I'm ready. You know what I mean? I'm ready to do this. And so about a week before the debut, they call me and they're like, hey, we're not going to do the brother thing. Vince thinks there's a lot of money left to be made with Elias. So let's stick with that. So you're going to look like you look right now, but this is just going to be the new Elias. I'm like, okay, fine. So we do that. And then the morning of Monday Night Raw, they call me and they're like, Vince wants to do Ezekiel. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You got it. Okay. So I show up to TV and, I walk into the office and Vince is like, there he is. Hey, how's it going? He's all excited, to see me and asking me questions about, hey, I'm sorry to hear about Elias dying. And he's having like a fun little time, right? And I'm like, yeah, it's like a tragedy, Vince. I would like to talk about it, And so we do that, and they're like, hey, here's what's going to happen tonight. Kevin Owens is going to be out there doing his promo. You're going to walk out. You're going to interrupt. You're not going to say anything except I'm not Elias. I'm Elias's brother, Ezekiel. And then you're just going to walk away. I'm like, that's it? He's like, yep, that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Just say this. I'm like, okay. He's like, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. Like, all right, boss, you got it. So that was the birth of Ezekiel right there. And that was that first night on Monday Night Raw. I can remember I walked backstage after that segment, and Seth Rollins is like, I have no idea what I just watched, but I love it.
I love that in the last 5 minutes you've chartered the slow decline of Vince McMahon's creative faculties in one story. It goes from like all these great week-to-week stories to just changing everything all the time. I guess one of the things with Ezekiel, apart from your great performance, obviously, was it kind of feels like it wouldn't work without Kevin Owens. I mean, Kevin Owens feels like he was so ridiculous about it that it kind of made it work.
Yeah, it was amazing, right? So, and all the credit to Kevin because, dude, he just came off wrestling Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. I'm sure he had visions of like, well, now I'll go to the heavyweight championship, right? And here he is being like gaslit by Ezekiel. You know what I mean? Like, what are you talking about? I'm not my brother, and it's like I'm obviously Elias, right? And so, dude, we had so much fun, and I always thought, my specialty is being like the straight man, while the other guy is like livid, right? And that's what Kevin was doing. He was so over the top, was beside himself that nobody would believe him, and everybody would believe me, and it just made for some really great TV. In fact, and they would tell me. The ratings are really good. Hey, the social media loves this stuff. And so I think initially they wanted it to be 2-3 weeks with Kevin. And I have no idea if there was a long-term plan. Probably not. And then we would just go off to do our own thing. And I can remember, that was a huge change for me. That was a, totally different character, totally different look. And, taking a big chance with your career there. And I can remember at the first pay-per-view, they wanted me to lose to Kevin. And I'm thinking, hey, you guys, I switched everything. The crowd is very interested right now. Like, they want to see, like, what is this guy like? Like, what is Ezekiel like, right? And if I came out and beat Kevin Owens, that's a big deal. You beat Kevin Owens in your first match and stuff like that. And whatever. Ultimately, they decided that Kevin would win, and I thought, oh, crap, they don't really have a plan for this, do they? But the social media loved it. This one girl made a picture of Zeke and Elias together. It's like very badly photoshopped, right? But it went viral. And like WWE posted it, and my Instagram got like hundreds of thousands of likes and whatever. And they ran with it on TV. They made a shirt out of it. And then Vince started having fun with it. It's like, oh, you're going to do a segment where you and Elias meet. So now they've got me doing makeup to look like how I used to look before they changed me. And so now I'm doing segments where I'm dressing up like how I look right now, and I'm acting. It was such a scene, and we did the whole thing where I sat side by side with my brother. I don't know if you remember this, and it was great to catch up. It was very Elias was proud of his brother Zeke for making it into WWE. Zeke was so infatuated with Elias for how cool he is, traveling the world and playing music. It was, brotherly love. And, Elias returned to do a concert. And so we were nervous about this because I was going to get physical with Kevin. And we know, oh, that beard could come off. Yeah, because they glue a beard to my face. And if that comes off while you're trying to be Elias, it's like the whole act is up, right? And so we had some fun there. And essentially what happened was we're running with Elias and Zeke, and Zeke's doing some stuff. And Hunter came in. Now, Hunter took over. And the very day he took over, he was like, hey, just so you know, I'm bringing Elias back. I'm like, okay, here we go, right? It's going to take some time to grow my beard back out. But if that's what you want, boss, that's what you get. And so they wrote Zeke off. He got slammed by Kevin. He got carted off in the hospital. That's the end of the legend of Ezekiel. And a few weeks, or probably, I guess, maybe 2 months later or something, my beard was back just enough that I looked like Elias. And they put me back on TV. So.
I mean, yeah, you were there for this really interesting time where, the Vince scandal happens, he's out, Hunter comes in. I mean, do you think, had that not happened and Vince was still in, the trajectory of you and WWE would be any different?
Well, yeah. Now, considering all things, yes. Because Vince, however he, used me, he always had some vision for me, right? Like even this Ezekiel stuff, as ridiculous as it is, he played with it and he put it on TV and he gave it some stuff and that, and of course the years of Elias prior to that. And so then what happened when Hunter brought back Elias, which I was very excited about. And I thought, oh man, Elias under Hunter's vision could really be good. Like, hey, now I could finally be that main eventer that I've always felt like I, could be. And, I came back. They had paired me with Riddle right when I came back. And they, from what I understood, they had plans for like tag team championship and then a feud, and then Elias was going to be a heel again. And there was quite some planning. But what had happened was, I can't remember if, Matt Riddle got in trouble, some stuff went down backstage, plans changed. All of a sudden, I'm on my own. I'm a baby face. So now the guy I was supposed to turn on, my catalyst is kind of gone. Now I'm kind of just like baby face fodder for like, I think, Solo and Omos and some other guys and stuff like that. And they just never really got Elias back to doing what he was best at doing, I should say. Because, as a heel, I think you basically have endless material. No matter where you go, no matter what the city is. As a babyface in that same act, it's going to run its course pretty quick, I think, unless we have a good storyline, which they didn't seem to have set up. So then what had happened was they transitioned me to, doing like backstage segments, occasional Elias appearance. No more. Now I wasn't doing the guitar anymore. So I already knew that was not great. And then they just had me losing 5-minute match to Omos or something like that. I know that's not great. And all the while I'm giving them idea after idea after idea, like annoyingly a lot. Then they put me with Rick Boogs. And me and him got really excited about this. This was their idea, not my idea. And they put us together. And, we're doing some backstage stuff. And we thought, oh, man, we're the two guitar guys. We're the two music guys. He's very over the top, very energetic. And I'm very, cool, calm guy. And I just thought it could be such a great dynamic if they put us in front of the live crowd. And they never did. And eventually the draft happened. I became a free agent, which essentially took me off TV. They never did anything with me and Boogs. I think shortly after he went to SmackDown, they took him off TV. And that was it, dude. Then I was taken off TV, and I was pushing so hard. I was doing anything I could to speak to somebody, talk to somebody, give ideas. I would call the writers, I would call people higher up and stuff like that too. Hey, I'll come meet you. Hey, I'll fly to wherever, Connecticut. Let's make something happen here. Here's a new character. Here's a new twist. Here's a new way to present Elias. A million different things. And I can remember hearing that the merger was coming up, and I was like, that's not going to be good news once that merger occurs. And it wasn't. So that was kind of the end right there for now, anyways.
I mean, so that happens. You get released. How do you what do you see the future as for you in pro wrestling now?
Dude, so I got let go, and I was just upset because I was like, I tried so hard for so long. The general audience isn't going to be able to know that Elias is back there crafting pitches, sending them to everybody, every person that could possibly make a decision, trying anything, and I'm totally, if Zeke is not enough proof, I'm willing to play any role and I'll make the best of it. Okay. And I thought that would show something, you know what I mean? Where they could at least plug you in somewhere or whatever it is. But the point is, I was just okay, you push and you push and you push and you push, and then they go, no. And I was just like, let me just chill. I'm just not going to wrestle or whatever it is. You know what I mean? I'm just going to just take a couple months or whatever, figure out what I want to do. And then, you know, after the initial hit, you start to like, I almost start to like get creative again. And like it's like I relax. And I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. I could have fun. I could do some stuff, whatever. And a buddy of mine, Sammy Callahan, the wrestler, you know who that is? He was like, hey, I think you should come have like an awesome match out in his promotion. And I said, oh, would you have in mind, dude? He's like, oh, we'll find you somebody. It'll be cool. He's like, just, you know, dude, you'll feel good after you do it. And dude, he was right. They hooked me up with this guy, Speedball Mike Bailey. We had like a match, my first one after however many months. And dude, it was such a blast. So much fun. The crowd was great. He was great. It was cool to like meet people like one-on-one. I was like, oh, this is like, that's actually fun. It's not like some like pressure-filled, you know, and nobody wants to listen to you kind of thing. Everybody wants to kind of have a good time, have a good match, put on a good show. Oh, this is fun. And so then that happened. And then somebody else called and they're like, you know, hey. And so that's kind of what I'm doing right now, man. I'm like, you know, I'm not in like any sort of pressure to like be back on TV. If, you know, maybe down the line, if there's opportunities or something like that comes up, you know, maybe I'd listen to whatever. Or maybe my mind will change and I'll really want to pursue one of the major companies. But in the meantime, this has just been fun. It's been fun to enjoy calling your shots, having fun with the crowd, having fun matches, traveling the world. So that's, as far as wrestling goes, that's all that's on my horizon right now. Just enjoying myself and just the fun of wrestling again. You know what I mean?